When I was doing live clinics, I remembered numerous people who came in who the reason that they gave me and what they believed, I think, when they were saying it, of why they were smoking was because they were self destructive individuals. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't people who are self destructive, and some of them are smokers, but the vast majority of people who made the comment to me and how it was usually made or when it was made was when they kind of failed in the program. If they, caved in on a second or third day, or even into, after the program was over during follow-up. And they said, well, they did it because they determined they were self-destructive people. The reason I say with a certain degree of certainty that these people were not smoking because they were self-destructive is because I had later encounters with them. And those encounters often occurred when months after the clinic that they failed in, or years and sometimes decades, these people called me up in a desperate panic state. The reason being, they were just diagnosed with some problem, or they had a major medical event, smoking induced, and they knew it. And these people were desperate, but praying that a clinic was just around the corner, desperate that we weren't filled up and that they could get in. And what was intriguing about this was I never had a time where a person called me up, years after they relapsed and said they did it because they were self-destructive, who called me up and saying, "Oh, Joel, this is great. It's finally killing me. I'm getting my wish." Now, these are people who are generally calling up desperate to quit smoking. Smoking is a self-destructive behavior, no question about it. But the reason that the vast majority of people who do it, it's not because they're self-destructive, it's because they're feeding their addiction. They're protecting their addiction. When they use the logic that the reason that they smoke is they're self-destructive, they were protecting their addiction. You can't come up with a good intellectual reason for smoking. Unless you say, well, you're self-destructive, so now, you're just using this to, fulfill a goal. Well, now that could almost sound intelligent that you're trying to fill a goal. But when you really analyze the situation, you're going to realize you're not smoking because you want to self-destruct. You were smoking because you had to, because you were an addict, you didn't know how to get out of it, and you were afraid of suffering from quitting. Well, because of the self-destructive nature of nicotine, you're going to go through a lot more suffering if you don't quit and you get anything wrong that smoking can cause. The way to stop this self-destruction in attitude and in practice, the way to end it forever, is to finally make and then stick to a personal commitment to never take another puff.